What's up YouTube, Capital G here, Invasion Vengeance Leaks Part 2. This will mainly focus on the, This will mainly focus on the Metalfoes, and the three cards that I'm going to talk about, they're all extremely good. This is Rare Metalfoes Bismagia, level 1 Psychic, so obviously Teleport is an option. Hopefully Cosmos don't get it limited before these hit the TCG. She has no attack or defense, so her stat line sucks. Don't summon this thing in attack mode unless you desperately have to normal summon it. The pendulum scale is 8, which is good because they have pretty much like super high and super low scales. The pendulum scales in this deck are almost identical to like Pendulum Magicians. The pendulum effect is essentially, it's built into all the Metalfoes. You can blow a card up on your side of the field to set a Metalfoes spell or trap. You guys know what that does. I mean, it means that you can get Metalfoes fusion whenever the hell you want. And then you have the monster effect, which is really good. The monster effect says you can only use the monster effect once per turn. If this card on the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can activate this effect during the end phase of this turn. You can add one Metalfoes monster from your deck to your hand. Honestly, this is good, but Metalfoes already have so many ways of getting monsters. This just to me adds like more consistency to the deck. Honestly, this deck is gonna have the potential to be like tier 1 because it can just be potentially unstoppable. The only thing about Metalfoes is their defense sucks. They have like no good they don't have any great defensive cards, but like their offense is going to be so good, and just the ability to just blow stuff up on their field at any time, and when this card's blown up she just replaces herself, so that's pretty good. Then we have the Metalfoes, or the new Metalfoes fusion monster. We had Alkahest, and now we have this one. This is Metalfoes Mithril, and this is level 6 Fire Psychic fusion. They're all fire psychics. 2600 attack, 1000 defense. I think that stat line is very good for a level 6. It's pretty good. And it requires a Metalfoes monster plus a pendulum. That's pretty good because this deck is going to play a lot of pendulums. I know a lot of people play Magic Specters in this in the OCG, and the entire Metalfoes archetype is basically pendulums, like everything in the main deck. So you should be able to make all of their fusions super easy, except the one that requires 3 monsters. That one's not nearly as easy. That's going to be like a one-of. This card should be easy to make. You can only use the one effect once per turn. Target 2 Metalfoes cards in your graveyard and 1 on the field. Shuffle those targets into the graveyard. And if you do, return that target on the field to the hand. Now, interesting thing is you can target your own card on the field. So maybe if you had like a Magic Specter Raccoon, you could bounce it to your hand and then resummon it and search again if it somehow lived or if you pendulum summoned it or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Also, I mainly think that this card is going to be used to just like bounce to bounce extra deck monsters your opponent has. It's kind of like a watered down version of Tiramisu. It can potentially recycle like your Metalfoes traps and spells. You can just put them back in your deck, which is cool. I guess you could reuse things like Fiendish Chain and Brilliant Fusion if you're running those. I don't think you will be, but if you were, that's pretty awesome too. Effect number 2, if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Metalfoes pendulum monster, either from your graveyard or that you have face up in your extra deck. That's cool because if you discarded any Metalfoes from your hand, they went to the graveyard. This is an easy way to get them back. You know what I mean? You can just get them back and just summon them onto the field. This card is pretty good. I'd say it was essential to the deck. It's probably going to be a 1 or 2. I'd say probably at least a 1 of. And then the last card, which is, I don't understand technically why they made this card. It's called Full Metalfoes Fusion, but really they should have just named this card L Shaddoll Metalfoes Fusion, because that's basically what it is. It's a quick play. I'm pretty sure fucking word for word that this is Shaddoll Fusion. It says fusion summon 1 Metalfoes fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control or have in your hand as fusion materials. It is a quick play, boys. That means it can be used during the battle phase, just like L Shaddoll Fusion, which is why L Shaddoll Fusion got restricted in the first place, because for some reason they had that, and they had Snatch Steal, and they had Super Poly Legal all in one format, and the OTKs with Shaddoll were fucking real. I remember that because I was playing dolls, and once you summon Denko, like usually if you had Snatch Steal, you could just OTK your opponent. Like it was pretty damn easy. So it's kind of weird that they would make a card that's essentially the same card. Like the main reason that this card is like really good, maybe even busted, is the fact that you can use it during the battle phase. So if you happen to have 2 Metalfoes fusions or 2 Metalfoes fusions on the field, attack, then use this and then basically just fusion during the battle phase, and it's like getting a third attack. And that's really what got Construct banned, is that people were OTKing with Construct, because you'd go attack, and then you'd use L in the battle phase and just kill your opponent with a 2800 Construct. So I don't know, this won't be probably as good as like the impact that Shaddoll's had, but it's still dangerous, essentially, that you copy pasted a limited card and put it on a different archetype that operates somewhat similar to the other one. So let me know what you guys think. Didn't talk about all of these cards because some of them are just kind of mediocre. Some of them are like Performa Pals. Why do we need to talk? Like, Performa Pals have 8 billion monsters. I don't think we really need to talk about that. Same thing with like Super Heavy Samurai. Don't really think there's that many people that are super. I'll talk about their synchro monster, but that's pretty much it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching as always.